Game ball cosha bion haichen och yn sio idd BBC Alpa agus skipper ball cosha na Halpa skipper ag Micha McCardle y dol yn ei skipper na Geramaj 4 gwlan idd hosioch idd y skipper noch y dol yn ei na Geramaj a hag addef y 3 an y rangen yn until Chisyn Gydera che hachas fydd i colodding bion och idd BBC Alpa. Shoshing Mahag Parke Tanadais on the Dún Jale, skipping a Bannick Alpa, a Dol, and then a Geramach. Falchor of Ulak Shoshing Mahag Tanadais, Agus, well, Hagrian iddo fi ac yn ffataladiw hai gydwch idd y gol ffo ach aper eiche son game ball cosha agus hasing ulwch mishnachal idd hosiwch idd y game siole Alpa y dol yn ei skipper na Geramach. Hisyn Gydera che hachras cwy eim idd my skipping son Alpa ach ha mi magoi glan falchwch chwydydd arnioliche vies calling fat na heiche noch Cheryl McCulloch. Cheryl, thank you for joining us here tonight on BBC Alpa, the second Friday in a row you've joined us. It's great to have your company, and it's a national team tonight, Scotland going up against Germany, and Scotland have lost both their games in this Nations League group so far. They need to pick up points, but a really difficult opponent here tonight in Germany.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. 2 weeks in a row we're making a habit of this. But yeah, certainly, you know, a really great team they're playing against tonight. Ranked third in the world, so you're playing against the best opponents, and that's what you want to test yourself. So it'll be a really good, interesting game tonight.
Looking back on the previous Scotland match, that was against the Netherlands 6 weeks ago at Hampden, they ultimately lost this game 2-1, but it was a spirited performance, and they'd be doing well to replicate this kind of performance here tonight.
Yeah, certainly it was a really spirited performance. You know, the performance didn't merit the result and obviously the defeat, but they had their chances. Netherlands certainly had their chances, maybe didn't take as many, but scoring against that opposition shows that they can go and do that, and they'll be hoping to go and do that again tonight. And
Scotland started that match with 5 at the back. They've gone with that here tonight again, the same back 5 as well. Is that smart thinking from Micha McCardle? Do you think you need that continuity?
I think you need that continuity, but you also need to do that against the best teams in the world, and that's certainly what he's doing tonight. The same back 5 as the last game also, so there's a bit of consistency there, and they'll be looking to just build partnerships and relationships with each other. So certainly they'll be looking to go and put a good performance in and defend the back 5 tonight.
Cheryl, thank you for now. Draasta, hasing a dol a chleingen van a manager. Ek van a Bannick Alpa, Shogay Maha, Micha McCardle.
A lovely day here at Tannadice, Mick, but I'm sure a challenge ahead of the Scotland team tonight.
Yeah, very difficult challenge. One of the best nations in the world for a long time now, and setting standards across the world, so we're really looking forward to test ourselves against that type of opponent to benchmark ourselves.
And just talk us through how you've set up the team for tonight.
Yeah, the teams we want to set up to control the game again without the ball for periods of time, but we also want a threat, so 2 strikers was important in the build up to this, and against Netherlands we went with a front 3, tonight's a front 2, to try and put pressure on in those moments when we do have the ball, but also those transitional moments where we think we can hurt Germany at times.
And just how do you look to hurt Germany, a team that have so many plaudits?
I think it's, again, controlling the game without the ball and matching into your identity as well and connecting with the fans. There'll be a real energy here tonight, which is exciting. So that hard work and determination in those moments, being clinical as well. I spoke about it during the last camp and since the last camp, that those moments that we get and we will forge tonight is being clinical.
Well, all the best.
Thank you very much.
Shingay Maha manager na Halpa Michael McCardle with Hosioch idd y game sio noch agus mar a hisiwn y cleichadarin y tînamach idd y far gydrasta agus ha rwyng acaf sy yn eisiau ma hasio fyr son y game y lentang an y berle ffyrtysif sy'n y ianw leis y ffwchdan Gerac ach yn sio idd BBC Alpa hasing y ffwddwch an y galig agus hasing yn eisiau y dol yn ulgw arniach addes Elain MacLeod.
Mór an tain geví cal am dolgéri che gana wasser an chenya should the chain source a shock on his spirit but greenaking chaneli shot teliga I guess pick and fork noch go shot an a dunje hishin a darshin boy in a cleicher in a half-face could be cheskilor either a daskip agus it a dog nooking in a kele I say game chuttermach 4 chuttermach shot in a league na national na lígan seo a deireh dé seir sa slí a gcuid go bhí galapa iad thoiseach iad cúpa na crunne a had go bhí fáin ann na farpa sin deireh bhí a siad a chun dóiseach hiic sin go na féin náisianta.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Began de knap de luchtteich na germal mis go slóg is seo ag Tannadice slóg na smóg atá a bhí sé fán na halapa.
Thank you very much, everybody. Big thank you to James Douglas on the pipes and signing for a deaf. Big thank you to
Jo haig de skipper na halapa seo ag Tannadice agus cydioch hi sin mar a bha cyd gan y skipper cyw thursna Genzi yn achga siachad chanel Genzi the Jeshad Tess Olafson she reached yn och ag Tannadice agus y skipper Colleria Almira Safik cydioch Aida Kellestrom agus Eva Sorsund Colleria is on smach y chwmal idd groichen da skipper le rydynach geheen riain y machas y gêm alap e fiach yn unig becan mis noch gain agus stoche bwy wel aber gêm y fig shit na'n paigad bwy ach na gerem al tich y cedydd mar y chwmysad smach idd mwddoch y lig a ha sio ha Cheryl idd y slia iano suas collerum se idd y spirish Cheryl, it's going to be a tough game for Scotland. Just how important is that first 10-15 minutes to get a foot into the match?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough, you know, playing against the third-ranked team in the world. So they're going to be a really good team. They're probably going to start really well. But yeah, Scotland need to start well, get their foot on the ball, try and keep possession, and try and get the ball forward into the front two. So that's what they'll be trying to do early on.
And we're here at Tannadice, a smaller pitch than Hampden. Will that in a way help Scotland?
Certainly, yes, it could. There's a bit of energy about the ground as well. The fans are closer to the pitch, so hopefully they can get a good start and they can feed off the energy of the fans and get a really positive start into the game.
Mick McCardle himself spoke about that connection with the fans, that, you know, playing in the Scottish way. Just how difficult will that be against this German side?
It'll be extremely difficult. You know, Germany are a really, really good team, coming off a really good couple of results as well. A lot of really quality players in that team, but Scotland also have a lot of quality, experienced players, a lot of youth in that team also, so there'll be nothing to fear. They just go out and play football and hopefully they can go and get a result.
Sin dóchas a bhisig, skipan na halapa, luch taich gacha seo agus síise a lental alapa ag dai seo iad BBC alapa tíroch na Sannasan me dhéirig tín fart na parke na fachcin me dhéirig an captain an och an Cuthbert brín rise skippe Katie sin iad skippe na halapa a drásta skippe a ríist mar a thuairt Mick McCardle coigna ag go chúl Lawton Eddie Howard Clarks na Clachlin go bhí fiachan na smach go chumal id leine é na Geramelt Weir Rogers is Cuthbert as a bhían agus an Norton Ailey Adams is Martha Thomas who is go hárs na fiachan na suringa bhían agus becan cúteam a chud id skippe na Geramelt Van Tövachgus in je, Hashin Eked, Anne Catherine Berger, idir na push, Che Horske do Hashiki, idir na push Skaskaroid, Rolishki, vi Raymond Gorste, the Parke, Stocha could be Eike Karsava, Eike Jew, Schuller, Ket, Kleinherne, Agus Dalman, Eka Kool, it Hosha Horace and Brandt, Minge, Sense, Agus Bull, Agus Norsen Gwyn and Captain, Agus Nishkin, Aha, Joloch, the Huch, va vi Click Ek Chelsea.
So celebrating 20 years next, let's go off. This is Tannadice. We are Stormwind. Let's hear Tannadice roar!
A be Hamden roar, a Tannadice roar, a hagar cwrt gydol. Agus nír hosach feich in Geramal Chich, diolch y sgwylig yn bal, fo'n tyf iesh chwn yn dyf cli agus mar ha cwrt cwtjum yn glein y chw na halapa ach. Yn y stwrig ymach, eisiau Rachel Nick Glachlin. Corum tra ha. Dan y Geramal Chich. Ysyn ffeiching Chigli ni Geramalch. So is diolch ag leoch slia. Mar ha stwrwch hwysyn cymal sŵlydd jehadol. Bal dog o'r fogsych, o'r dynia ffasg. Shit, idd ket ach. Chlyche bal man gorst, stoch o corm idd. I'n pi agos corm, ysganiol yma, shit. Apel, tyl, i'n doch. Bo Elisa, sens. Hwyddi yn rŵm, hwyddi yn corm. Agos hwyddi yn tyl. Droch, hos i gyd y galapa. Ach, na Geramal Chich yn doi.
We spoke about at the start from Scotland, didn't we? But that's probably definitely not the start Scotland would have wanted. Trying to clear the lines from the set piece there once, twice, and then if you give a player of that quality in the edge of the box a chance to shoot, she's going to score, and she's done that.
Apar slaich gyfawn i'r fawr, agos Gerard byn y plannu cyn y Mick McCardle y dolmach yn ddyniac, agos ffeimr cetydd G. Niad yn ish. Agos begantys mach gain in y groich. Cyw gyfi ffain sadl ys Jack Caroline Weir. Cwmal cwtjum y shit. Idd Julia Gwyn. Fais y leinus ond y fi tos o'ch sŵs gyhars a chai y mian y ffarge gosa idd y tyf iesh. Si hwy shit. Begant y ffugtig idd Martha Thomas ach charog y lior ys ond reidr y gol y sas. Yn Cuthbert yn oes yn y fiaching I hyn. Gys Begant smach ang yn y groi. Ha gyda cwgwn o gydol yn ei Caroline Weir. Yn iosit ydd cort y gri eisiau. Mae'n efo mi gra. Gwyn yn y dyf iesh agos fiach yn pick an ers this iano i'r legal eisiau le Amy Rogers agos mynd afar ysgybi fiach yn cion y fadjal o chwmal yw chase y bi y hi cystiach dy le na halapa Rŵm gilior ec y chwl y ganyan gachyr eisiau o Ailey Adams Gwyn Unis smach gilior y groichyn. Mae lot yn diolch yn legal. Julie Brandt y siyd. He's fine big an fachel na clúis Kuchok. We can see Scotland clearly trying to keep pressure on after giving the Germans so much space on the edge of the box previously, but already starting to get that word in the ear from the referee, and it's, if something goes against the ref's wishes, it's an even longer afternoon.
Yeah, certainly, you know, you can see Scotland are frustrated, especially losing that early goal, but they just need to be patient, they need to keep their discipline. Yes, they want to be aggressive, but they need to remember they're playing a real quality side.
Joe Clayke Macman O'Hoo, a Corum, Bal, Joch Castle Tre, Catarina Chin, Vamishnoch Gilorach Clayke Mach, Sraina Chin Suez, and Tev Cleag and a Fark, Yemik Eta, Eli Adams Tune Dagarash, I guess, Iteri Haynes, Emma Lawton, Did Roy Howlach, Hukshin Tokal, Gonna look tight, Safes Gadora, Tokal the Lage McCardle. Just the confidence there to play the ball out from the back rather than just stick the boot through it. It's the kind of thing Mike McCardle will enjoy seeing. Yeah, certainly he'll be wanting the players to play football. They've got a lot of technical players in the Scotland side who'll be wanting to use their strengths and play football and pass the ball along the ground. Kuchum Gadaka Hools, Brandt, Dol, and Lawton I Hain, Cat, Ashid, Stachan of Oxa, Bala Baichal, Mungorst, Mayeri. She Jenna Clark with Cass, Either Vowel, I guess, the Sturich, Tarsing, and Evacha Tarsing. I guess, Gusavalche, can you get nach Kus face Stoche, JG Rachvatolashit. Collis, Toyal Gilor. Clara Bow, Kavi Stach Cheha. Like the Bayern Munich. Joloch Maha, Sam Kerr, get nach Kerr. I should address this. See the Aesthetic Liverpool. Che Liverpool. Jenna Clark, I should get Studig at follow-ups in North and Caroline Weird. You go Mach, I guess. Hugh Bacon Phil, who go Horst the Gallop. Alapitch Sayed Ash, Likale, skipping a get a match, Clayke, Selena Hulach Haynes, Norton, Fiachan de Lay Morrit, and then he got Caillou, and Tris Hutch, and Macha de Farke. Balavria, Shach, Cass, and Niskin, he hated it, Machane. Tev Clee, Kaguna Gadol Tev Alaba Durisa, Rachel Nick Clachlin, Jishal, Ball Hatlashach, Erin Cuthbert Gayeri, Haggis, Amy Rogers, Hena Hound, Sayegi, Smushin, Yemik, Clachlin, Ugola Sass, I guess, Kaguna Carferis that. Thomas Jen Obervat, Kumal Kuchum, Erevalach, Shin Fakal, Eichefate, Eiche Ski, Royere, Fush, Caroline Mirkata, Prisha Geders, the Galactica, Ihain, Tune Daganors in the Stach, and in Cascli, Animal Heiche, Valavria, Erin Cuthbert, Unity Thomas, Stach. Norsen kunnen boksen, de Caroline weer er achter Cuthbert, Bullock Cuthbert is in. Clark, Kumal Groy Getals. Corum, Paul of the Unity and Tarakic Kus, Ereval, Gaganiachin, Bimishno, Kachina Sashin. That will just only help the confidence. Yeah, certainly it's really positive play from Caroline Weir there. She does so well, so composed to keep the ball. There's time where you think she's going to play it, but she keeps it until the right moment. And the really important thing there is Scotland, they've got players up in numbers. That's our centre-back having a shot on target as well. So it just shows that when they are going and they've got the ball, they're certainly pressing in numbers together. Joper Giljarachke, y chŵl ach mae ha Corman Eglage Clarks Sophie Howard gyfel yn y tyl fan y grip yn osian cwsyd y falsyd son Lawton hai lua ach chanili bwlwch lua gilior son shyd We'll see the goal again. Just so much space on the edge of the box.
Yeah, as I say, you can't give a player of that quality to have so much space on the edge, and you know it's a great strike, and Lee Gibson couldn't have done nothing about that. But certainly Scotland, I've seen in the second corner there, they've set up a bit differently to stop that ball going to the edge of the box.
Cuthbert's through Michael on it. Hadjenoch sin cus Jeffer Yiach Yis. Gwyd i lan mysnwch un ti hyn gyfai ias y groich ach tyrys yn cyw chaeli bal nos yn bwychgal siachatydd Cuthbert chachaiga mar i fi gati geri ach ag iawn eile sy'n ffeichin Lee Gibson sy'n i'n machgw o'r y box gys stad chwyd i'r yn corm sy'n tyfrant rŵm eich gyda begant Rafwg stoch at the lane of Hul na Halapa. Drwy'r hashid, Leah Eddy, Sophie Howard, Jenna Clark, aha. Iolach Gilior, yn eisiau fi cleiche coleg, Gahari, Rachel Corsi, Hast, yn ili bwlwch fyd gys cleiche yn Geminin, yn Cuthbert, y Lical Carforst yn och stoch it, Lic Dalmany. Sy'n ffeichin Caroline wir chod doin gyda. Wel mae sydd rhaid ni eniam chymor I hen as y gêm. Clark, Rogers. I hen gachleich so as y leine. Corum sydd Martha Thomas Tuntag. A I hen son y groich yn cwmol dol cysgybl dy gyda agos sy'n gyffol y sioch ymysg yn y planig yn y galapa. Fi cwmol aster sy'n gêm mae sŵrin gaif. Clark yr eich le bal sŵs dyr ys y UNC. Ailey Adams, charo shit, bwloch, mae'r efeg Sophia Kleinherge y gyri ach charo cwrs cynnwrs dan. Feiking yn G sy'n ag yna un atio trwy'r mae'r efa yn ei nôl lunch. Diolch, bal y brian o'r sy'n UNC Gwyn, Sias, Ffwyn. Am Catherine Berger, Cleichus na stadion ennichyd, skip y Gotham. Yn si. Unie vorig het siachat as WSL kutchok by Coik Blionek Chelsea. Chile Raininium at Chelsea finished the Lavan of the Val. Ga Calcutta, Liadis, North Nera and Cuthbert going at Ash. Jenna Clark, Kate Powell, Suas, UNC, Emma Lawton, Irish, Tiach, the Yari Gemach, I guess, Shinafakal Björn, she is Elena her shot. Yes, Leshin, Carforst enough for Yellow Nahalapik on Balamach.
I'd say Scotland have definitely grown confidence the last 5 minutes or so. They've been quite composed on the ball. They've certainly had the majority of the possession. So I think Michael McCard will be quite happy with the reaction from the early goal.
Good job. Be at Tollicha. Chanel Kus Kunnerst. Irvi. Iridhul like Lee Gibson. Nachavanya Noon. Kormavashit. Van Evre Boshan. Me Navaris Giri. We're a Tarakachevek. Sophie heard the shit. Dori Kusrof Ash got it. Bal Giroch het Kulu. Ket en Shin Torst. Pick and chicken de galoppen. Wel het Ash gaan een crew achter. Maar voor Shin Koikner Eka Chul, trúr as a bhían, agus in díis Ailey Adams agus Martha Thomas, so is go hást. Is dat de céad mar a chumas at smach i the skip animal ceramalteach. Chanel at smach gain i the tuibh chearst agus well, becan cús ag brant ar a bhál agus a ganin hula pic liadi huadí seachadore hei car forstanach stácha gur cús ar a bhál. Ger mal tich gevoor zijn neudai sa hala Pigiano lekker lesh nyenje gehoel gachliche mongorstach spachte hi gat geharistach gemene vaarke en kutje machine het Sophie Howard geta ach gani hi shit stoch gedori bekan rohjalo de groik si van klakken kermal tich Lawton jach goedemach ach Sophie Howard brukugi as germalch bij kliche Gan skippen ach gefoish figet ach hoorst die Noorsen groei kamas het gliche te hasen te hacher shit ach hij de doaves unje geschachat gliche te galoppen ligt zijn neu kechbechke en isje geshi en jolis en miske line goed shit When Gachal, the Lawton, Snors and Legal Lawton, Haisha Geri, Servrip, Nelika Ein, Taike, Sloag, Tanadais, Ek, Clicker Celtic, Ganyan shit, Kaguna Gerechera Hakuntish, Bala Norsen, Ek, Nicklachlin, Ket, Stjach, Tal Nul van de Devhal, Bala, Vria, Junsi, Martha Thomas, Jilka, the Krokker, Fala. An important header, but also a great spot.
Yeah, really good play down the right-hand side there between McLaughlin and Thomas. Really good link-up, you know, worked great to get back, win the ball, and unlucky with the cross through, but certainly, again, positive from Scotland. When they get the ball, they look like they want to be direct and get forward as quick as possible.
Dit is van Pekanunje goed schachat as a late shot. Ball is schachan of Oxitjach. Pekan kus roars the son Martha Thomas. Geriest. Corum give Alpa Kaing Rash Howard. Voor de 0 Jenna Clark. Heen ked the son Nicklachlin. No, Erash is beter Yegol Erashke. Lee Gibson. Joe Hlug is Cheen good Tanadais, Yaching skipper. I guess again, Manahashi game had to come out tight larger through it. Lawton Shin in a goal card on it. You mentioned the energy pre-match, a really good crowd at Tanadais tonight.
Yeah, really good crowd. You know, it's good to be usually always at Hampden, but sometimes it's good to get out to different parts of Scotland, different people that can come along to the games that maybe not travel, but certainly a good energy today, even though going down early as well, the crowd have got behind the team, so it's good to see.
I guess Corman and Varach big and spewing good and it could have clicked it. Alich na nian en Sabia ha Geri Alpa Eiking Kanad Kusrarich en Corm Stoch is Valach geheen. Smarshin Gal en Corm enoch. Haas de sturen Groichen is het. Christian Vick. Heen Nella Pulch Tolletje Ganyan Kajachat de Rurs Khotra. Connie Rutigeneke Rira. Joel Gleiche shit like it's a ball Noorsen is Stjach van de Wokse. Sturing Stjach is shit. Achter de jarige mag. Jenna Clark got Gleiche gesnot is Stjach good Hodges in the east and is Kumi on it all. A kid Suez kid leads Caroline Weir. And Weir stoch Gairi in Napahaya.
That's absolutely fantastic from Jenna Clark, winning the ball, and again, been getting on the ball, been positive, going forward, driving with the ball into spaces, and that gets Scotland up the park and takes pressure off the back line.
And you can see Caroline Weir screaming for it the whole time as well, but just having that confidence to go, no, I'll do this myself.
Yeah, certainly, you know, when Caroline's shouting for the ball, most times out of 10 players will give her it, but Jenna Clark's confident enough to go and take the ball into space there, and she's done really well for Scotland.
Sophie Howard leis Peter í tún de garage agus ball horste Clark gereist. Clark Kate is on ball so as UNC in line in ball. The Rachel Nick Lachlan Snorsen í Kain Ashville Caroline Weir Kate the UNC in Parakic. Pushing Ash go in Cuthbert le ball gria. Diving is Jack shit by Lee Adams. Giro Shaka de Vost. Hier Conor McAllifer Till hier Joel Chorum kan het doen. Ik ga niet Jackie Shachad. Agus Giro Bekan kus het Hosho Chorum stogen. We gaan niet in Ryan Alpema Conor McGroeg.
That's fantastic play there. You know, again, I said really positive. Rachel McLaughlin down the line, composure, not to put the ball in right away. Cut it back and then the ball into the box, and Ailey Adams has been scoring for fun this year for Hibs. Certainly you would put your money on that to score, but a great opportunity.
Caramela geworden zit. Kyle, Caroline Weir maakt Kyle Kutjoch getting Cuthbert. De Chingers van Talman. Kate Suez pick and room stogen. Ha, she is fine. I guess the Northern ball it is during is Jack. Jule Brandt van een bal. Parsing Vokse. Sophie Howard. Sturig is Jack van de Vokse. Til geheen. Gebeshet Ite. Wie Geri. Ganyan Garstuchus. De Germalchi. Has the stand. Garstuchus Kutjoch. Wanneer je de parken. I guess all up at Dahil and Yeri.
That's a real sickener for Scotland, that goal, especially with the reaction they've had from the first goal. They've come into the game, they've had a lot of the possession, they look really comfortable, they've just had a chance, and then Germany got the other end and score, so extremely disappointing, especially you can see the ball into the box here. It's really unlucky for Sophie Howard, but when the ball's in the box and you're facing your own goal, it's really difficult. She stuck a leg out and it's unfortunate it's went into the back of the net.
That's the thing, she had to play it. It had to be stopped before she ever got involved in the situation.
Yeah, it's really difficult being a centre-back myself. You know, when the ball's in between you and the goal, if you're sticking a leg out, you just don't know where it's going to go, and it's just wrong-footed Gibson and it's went into the back of the net. So, yeah, a real sickener for Scotland, but again, it's about the reaction and how they can try and get back into this game.
Be Gary Durf. Be it Kate Hasted, maar je wat Cassis Jacke de Grooi, stogen til Rijpeen, Femer Keinigug, en Korma was het ik, Ailey Adams. Just een toetje machine. Leah Eddy, de Noors niet sleutig. Genzi Brandt. Alani zeg je, Giano. And you can see exactly what she was thinking there after the slip.
Yeah, you know, she's obviously slipped and she's realised that the threat down that side, especially after just conceding a goal down that side also, and she's took the professional foul. And it's something sometimes you just need to do in the game, but she just needs to be careful now that she's on a yellow, and certainly Germany are looking really threatening down that side.
Jera voorgoed, gonna cushion, aching, Maraganin. De galoppen, Chinchies, de Gjarst. Gwyn, sturig is Jach, Giro is Jach Gwaben. Lee Gibson, bekend de Garang Kamich het al. Giro een plannen wacht is er shit. Die plannen Mick McCardle, hier al mag Ninjak, maar hoor je me naar Berhaie. Maar je mag een Ninjak, hij mag een sigaar, ze mag een cheesestick. En eerst, agus halp daar heel in hierig. Is genoeg pikken en warren het minute in de klok. Cheryl, we saw Mick McCardle there, still shouting instructions. what can he change? Is there anything he can change in this sort of situation, or do they just have to stick with the plan?
I think the thing is that they have had positive play. They've had a chance or two, you know, Jenna Clark with a long shot and then the ball into the box for Ailey Adams' header. So they are creating chances. They looked really comfortable before that goal. So I think he'll just be trying to tell them to stick together, be disciplined, and I'm sure he'll have words at half-time also. But certainly in terms of the play, they have looked fairly decent. They just need to make sure they don't concede another one before half-time.
McLaughlin should let Unia Killior and Ballachor rash the Lee Gibson. Choramaikische after the Norse Machid or a Farke. McLaughlin is at the good Jochich and Magus Norsen Rogers a hunt finding a ball at a Jan Hall and Cuthbert to Chinya Maxka. Choramach Norsen to Leah Eddy. Joe Hune dig of a shit. Or Chea Quake me on the line of Hool. Shouting skill in Eichgische. Jenna Clark, they can't courage a shit like a Shinafakal. Gilly Hain and Ish Floeen Beat. Jenna Yorkus. Ball at 3-jarige Mach. Cuthbert de Norsen Torst. Smach get shit for Weir. Lawton go de Norsen Suez. Ball is knocked to Ailey Adams. Achter for the jarige Mach. Klein Herne. Lawton of this Gahat alles Jachach. De eerste faking geweld Kormen en Gallup. Eerst is de Jeno zoals of Harke. Alles Jach in de bokse. Gamesit. Martha Thomas gaat door die heen. Nee, Rachel McLaughlin en bal. Shears. Skippel to Killior. Smashin. Peter even wel rash. De eerste had de Kumal. Orde. Gamesit in Tarakic. Nu kan Kusro het vallen. We zitten. Als je bal 3 is aan McLaughlin. Hij heen is Shelding. En mis nog kijken. Goller eerst. Op het Scaniel. We gaan niet kennen met die. Die fijne maken ze pressen van shit. Ballen. Giro zoals op Harke. Schachat. Heeft Martha Thomas een haast. Gaan natuurlijk. Line Goel, jij de McLaughlin en Vissoor zag, zijn de Norrille gaan varken. Ik Emma Lawton, ha Kruijgens, Norsen, Ailey Adams, Genoma, Kuguna again, and that's perfect forward play just to release the pressure.
Yeah, she's realised she took a touch and she's realised she's not really got anywhere or anything to play, so took the foul and yeah, done the right thing, get Scotland up the park.
Lawton got the Grokku there, I guess. Weet, kan je talletjes uiteindelijk? Knapel of Marvik, Klein Herne Keris, Balakshit, talletje Kiljore Ganyan has scored. I'm not sure if anyone's told that lad to score, or maybe he's a German fan.
Yeah, I think he's just happy, you know, they can feed off the energy of the crowd there. He's happy to be at the Scotland game.
Carlos could do it. Che Karamal terug bij de Grok in de hutting. Smashen Conor met daar skippen. Bekan. Ja, een drum uit het al, maar hij de wie gaat niet skerig. Een Corey in het al kutjok. Het daar skippen goedje. Ik is een kleintje erin achter. De Preenry, Kahari, McCardle, Preenry, Emma Lawton. She is fine. I guess Erin Cuthbert. I guess Leah Eddy. Fine, Chachgarach and Killior.
You can see the Scotland's coaching staff down there just having a few words with a couple of the players, tweaking things just to try and get a reaction and get some information on board to the players.
And like you said, that left-hand side looks to be, especially where the danger's coming. You saw Mick McCardle speaking to Emma Lawton and Leah Eddy, and they've obviously seen that as much as we have, but it's how they fix it.
Yeah, certainly, and they'll just be looking to get a reaction from the two players, maybe get a bit more information on board from them. Certainly both of them young players coming into the squad, so they'll just be trying to, as I say, get as much information onto them and try and help them throughout the game.
Ball i'r gol yr Ash. Agus Suas Norton Bo Howard. Corm gyda ag Gwyn. Diolch, ball lagael. I hyn. Ys yn bawn. Ys yn captain yn och. Gilior yr oenyn. Ag cnig ar ymwneud. Ys yn captain. Gilior ych leich ydr yn ioloch. Maybe click it a gar stars the it. She's faking Erin Cuthbert. Sheing Nash. I guess well. Gerain. For Gwyn nach door die heen Kaguna gereedje ach een captain het de willen Cuthbert geëin. Bekan puftig ach gaan natuurlijk ook kus aan. Die Noorsen kachliche Noorsen kueren. Zoals een dufjast. Er is een bal er jarige mag. Hij is kent er wie. Kom op, bekend is mag het groeien is het. Ha, bekend eerst is er wie ik al op van Rachel niet klachlin. Ach, eerst is voor de Noorsen. Alleen nog goed, zoals Gertalman. Zonder Kerrematch. Brand, Noorsen kid, het bal is in de boksen. Van de station gaan ik daar naartoe. Room, eigen er eerst doper rash wil laten. Tune tegen is vangen rash stach en naadje jarst. Ach, bal er eerst ching voor Gwyn. Laten de van het dreamen. Maar daar is de bal was shit. Ik is al behaast voor een bal er wel tarsing in de boksen. Zullen we het doen? Jenna Clark bekant te horen get a foul. And this almost looked like a carbon copy of the second goal, but just not quite the touch.
Yeah, again down that right hand side for Germany, and a great touch from Jenna Clark. Just last ditch defending, just gets her leg in there and it prevents the third goal for Germany.
Laag zoals ik bol al courage van is hier gelijke. Nou, de Rachel niet klachlin zit er wel pullig jaar hoor. Noorsen Erin Cuthbert le Corm I heen. Bal is sturing er vallen van Shin dal karkjaar die kutjach. Ik is gemig klachlin je een bal voor de mag is een grootje skippelig.
You would say the thing there when Scotland win the ball from the corner, because they've got everyone back, they've no one to retain the ball further up the pitch, so the ball just keeps coming back to them.
Sin Jeffin JV Torst Faticus room Faticus Corm dan get a match just as if he had vintage in a game nur hoe dat tro since he had tell of a shit Cuthbert to tune tegen Shachs gachliche rash de Sophie Howard the Eddie and Noorsen and Kate the Thosha Hodde Martha Thomas Tarakic agus Martha Thomas o hwyddi yn Noorsen gachleiche dyna tyrus de lote nach een baaltje och big aan de Kulu. Hij Rogers is jachtig Sienna Jano is het. Is gedierst again in G's not through the Vimy Himika Lorre. We can a multi Gianocular, spying him off. The ID, we Cronach Ugashit, Marha Kartvuye. Smarshin Femi V Fake Galach, a Bauer de Hall, I guess the notion. Eden Cuthbert, Gachlike de Caroline Weir, Tira Shaha de Darakage. Hanier to Napiar, na Caroline Weir is on Currimshin. Tira Pick and Roarst.
Scotland do really well there to just press together and win the ball in a really dangerous area. And Caroline Weir with it, you know, running with the ball, which she does really well, and she's unlucky not to get the shot on target there.
And I don't know how many times we've said and seen on BBC Alpha Caroline Weir's left foot and just what she can do, and just the expectation around the stadium when she picks it up. That's the kind of confidence that Scotland need to hold on to.
Yeah, you know, when you see Caroline Weir and Cuthbert, players like that get on the ball, really exciting players, you can see it really lifts the crowd, the energy, and certainly people have a lot of expectations because there's so much quality with these players, and Scotland are really lucky to have them.
Geraha, Brunak, Real Madrid. It's Cuthbert, Ian. Narunak is a WSL Legacy and a Champions League in Ban. Skip Arsenal, Real, Mach, Chelsea has this and that fish. Corum Galaput, agus Caroline Weir pick and Kuchum. Could I think any much shit that the eerst gechliche Mach brand. Gain Trace Corum, I mean Avaris, so if you heard the lamest jackets, shit the gutch, Norsen Bal. Chicky Shias Bullock the Gailey Adams, I guess the spot Talman Gachliche thirst. Chingish Jachan of Oxa, Clara Pool. Leistat Cayu, Rachel Niclachlin, I guess Darna Corum, Niclachlin, Gasturi get Fallab. Gailey Adams, Gianoma, Gaf Bacon Chicken, Clachgach, Charoach, Niclachlin, Giano Moran, Pagas Erstis, Suasafak. Shit Riala, but Karokus couldn't get him much. Ganyan Shin, Klein Hernan Balamach, Corti Aruas and Cayu. Genius Jack for Ball, shit. Stashi Kishin, Irish, the Satalis Jack for Rachel Niclachlin, Caroline Weir. Heen, I guess, Erin Cuthbert to the Tilligis John of Fiach and Cayu, the Gunnakrua. Spot the Yeva the ball and Kuchum Chignora. Alpith Gianuma, Kang Makali Eddie Guitars, Norsen Martha Thomas Akal, Heen and Norsen Pick and Push the Rashers, the Dahu, the Harinker on more and a shit. Yolis Stolfe, Ukshias Klein Hernet, and Yel Martha Thomas Tolicha. No VAR wouldn't have mattered. Martha Thomas wasn't claiming for anything, but definitely the crowd not happy with that decision.
Yeah, certainly you can see the crowd not happy there, booing there, but certainly there's not too much in it, but you tend to see that they favour the defender in positions like that, and certainly good position to get into for Martha Thomas, so she just needs to keep doing similar to keep doing that again, but certainly disappointing that they've gave the foul the other way.
And that's the kind of situation probably yourself, if you're that defender, you're screaming for it. But if it's your team, you're going, no chance, right? Yeah,
certainly. It depends what team you're on. If you're the defending team, certainly you're going to be shouting for it. But certainly, from a Scotland point of view, you're looking to keep the play going. So, yeah, disappointing there.
Hala Norshin, Cassin, Erin Cuthbert. Peter Heen, Walladash. Joch Alpe Fase, Ganyan Vitahel, Ganyoni, Idyirig, Peter. Caroline Weir, Erin Cuthbert, St. God, had the Torsha who we general pick and the Gerstis. Cuthbert to Giri pick and a Varach at the ball over shits, Hukshin Corum to Niskin, in Bala Yaring Maka, and Norsen Martha Thomas, well. Klinisha Payne, Naha, Slug, Tanadais is mentioned Yenishin, Rogers is Chingisha. Sense of tune to Jack or William Bow, William Clayton Kuchok.
we spoke about the last foul maybe being contentious, but certainly there you're feeling play advantage. I think there's not too much in that. Rodgers certainly has won the ball, and it's a delayed whistle also, which is frustrating for Scotland, and you can hear the crowd aren't happy.
Gwyn ced y thosio chwarae, Brant Geiri Gairi sias y leine, ach san Ching yr as defel mi Rodgers leish. Bal yr gol ysdiach. Chyn y fwgt ach ffos mac ni gen am al tiriist. Jo chleiche snasal i dyr y drwy'r a hysyn. Gwyn Niskin agus nosin bal soas idir dalman siach yn y fwgt y stúrig a fiach yn y stúrig i'r fall af ysyd Jenna Clark agus Rachel Nick Clachlin fi mi Martha Thomas yn gol y sas i hyn y big yn dyfwyd y gaing agus i hyn Jenna Clis mar y fan y gyrra moti y cianil yn y ffarga. Well, I don't know if Caroline Weir will have to steal the armband from Erin Cuthbert, but you never know.
Yeah, certainly Erin Cuthbert captain tonight. When you've got players such as Caroline Weir and Erin Cuthbert in the team, real leaders with lots of experience at this level, then certainly both of them could be captain. So
Dalman gachleich yn ôl, agus Che Ila Gyfeliolas, Lee Gibson, Casafalw, Joe Safalw, Van Le Cas, Canilw. Corum siachat ni gennym o tich gyda agus yn bal yn y darn y corum y ting ysdiach na safal tiwch hynny dw gwasens ach Joe Havelug. I have to say this is the kind of thing we've become almost used to from Lee Gibson.
Yeah, fantastic save there from Lee Gibson, and as you say, it's something you've seen throughout the years from her. Great serve for Scotland and Glasgow City, and it's a really good save from her there to keep it at 2-0.
3 fichyd cep yn ysdiach Lee Gibson. I ydol ysdiach yn y 3 fichyd yn och fyg stoch o ceisdydd cwtch le Sandy ni chiafr i'r as as y sgwad yn ni hast ar y fy hyn dy galapa ach si Gibson aha edrych yn y pwysd. Caroline Weir Jan Wers dy sy'n i ysdiach dirach darn yn a tres pas groich yn y dol ciar. Be kan sochgrach ugydd Ching idd groich yn. That's a ha. Bal diolch ydol i'r dalain y chŵl chyfwr. Caroline Weir y cedydd. Cymru sy'n ringi hyn agos alpa becan dysmach gaing idd y groi cro le unia. Neely Adams calamach y sydd. Gwyn gaing dols Klein Herne. Sy'n sbawtach yr eist mae'r hasyn eith feiching ymwyddoch tyrys. Unig y lior ac yn y cleichyd yr yn cwl edrych da hyf gymryd yr a Corum mae'n smach gaing i'r fawl agos big an ffos i gael Adams change jack gys cwtio mwch wrdd Klein Herne agos Norton Martha Thomas fiach ni cwtio mwch wrdd Berger Hij heen te liggen is Joloch. Bal Vria soos ach Jenna Clark. Kan sia troi gaars ga grok weer val af. Dalman. Bal de gutch worpe ach Ching Rash het horsach. Ha na kelmertjie. Gwyn ga gleiche stjach. Kunnen foste ja Sophie Howard de shit. Gus ik grok weer val af is Jenna Ma. Gael sadal ysdiach yn nache stoch y pre-bosian a sy'n eith feiching a hach o cynnorstoch dol yn ei sgifin a halapa Dalman, give me gol arall agus míri cael amach agus cael yn baw. Cwgwn y dol na hwy. Chanili tolige mynd y groich ach Bili Edi. Gahadal ysdiach yn orsyn. Martha Thomas. Chynau hi bylwch smach gyda sy'n ach Iriist. Bala soos i Cunsi, Eli Adams. Caroline Weir yn orsyn wel. Fi yn araf yn y iele. Nishkin. Y jaar groich in de maag. Siachgain voor Caroline Weir se film met Jane Galactica. Heeft Chini Mach zijn reaching het in de SFV. Zet er wie daltro slie behe Caroline Weir agus film animal hashin. Naar wij ook zie Lelenia Zidane Real Madrid orde. Zie niet gelijk ze jere Lenia out of a Jake shit. Ballen. Karkaric gaan het overlijk Gibson nog al bevorsten nog. Niet klachelen gaan in rash agus be Corum. Well, like Sophie heard and there is a Sin er go cear édi ach an a dói. Ócrochuch suas de Gemma Lawton. I hen ga agal. Galia Eddie. Man of her Cheryl. Dijog. In het chli an a lein a chw de galapa. Is chanad Iwn sy'n chwch na biar na fi cleich yn ei leid sy'n gyda mochi. Ach se. Doch a lesan car chrwy I hyddi fi am na sy'n hyd le. Mae Lawton, diolch o groch o sydd yr ers yr eist. Ai, stri gasain ach byg am cwys ar y fal. Klein Herners, Ked Gaakal, Gamalish go Klein Herners. Gwyn Gaakal y gol amach. Jake Jicken, reed de vlag Gakenje, Q in de screen. Regal. En ik ken hem wat je torst. Een unie het fat Kajera. Kus. Shit, egal, agus. Hier een bal voor de macht. Or de vaartje. Le vaun de galoppen. Nach Jack Bullock. Gema. En ik ken hem wat je ze staan de show. Ik tan het is. Berieritje, agus. Sin feiking Sophie heard the che for the darn till like Nick animal is Jack gan until like geheen straight the sense hier te line se hier vintage gonna grooi Bahakat le chorum gaan het ik Eli Adams ach be Giliorik Caroline Weir agus en cor Riano at saha hier le lenta ach ek le unie showing Tana dice ha alpe da ho gnyoni if yeri if Nick animal
Tabletse Gajera Elling agus wel prisig toe te galpa as na kaul aga Canyoni aik le chunya ha amnen gleva de viach getronig het le en ach hunnik sing go lacher go kunnerstoks haskippe na germach as na bunik aga Canyoni aik le chunya agus ha me go clan gewil G's to move drash Sherma Culloch agus Rachel Boyle. Cheryl, Rachel, thank you both for joining us half time. Cheryl, I'll start with yourself. Your overall thoughts on the 45 minutes. Obviously bitterly disappointed Scotland are losing, but there have been positives throughout that first half.
Yeah, certainly, you know, worst possible start for Scotland, conceding in the first minute, but certainly the reaction after that first goal was quite impressive. You know, you could see Scotland playing, having a couple of chances as well, and they retained possession really well. So certainly unlucky then to go and concede the second goal on the counter-attack.
Rachel, your overall thoughts as well on the opening 45 minutes. Like we're saying, you know, nightmare start, but Scotland did rally after that.
They did, yeah, and I think that's the most disappointing thing to take when the second goal goes in. I think Scotland are up the other end. The ball just goes over the bar with Eli Adams' header, and straight away they're on the defensive and trying to track back and sticking out a leg. And I think for me there's a lot of positives to take. They are playing well when they secure possession and they pop it about, they get numbers forward. they are causing a little bit of problems for Germany, but as you can see how clinical Germany are, that they're taking their chances when they come.
Let's remind ourselves of that first goal. I think it was 56 seconds on the clock. Great from a Germany point of view. And actually, I don't know what you both think, but is it a corner kick that's gone wrong for Germany? But when it does break to Eliza Sensia, it's absolutely a ferocious strike, Rachel.
Yeah, it is, and as you can see, they've obviously set up for the shot from the edge of the box. It's not quite sat for her. She's managed to have the composure to recycle the ball, and I think Vin here almost gets caught in possession, but she just manages to flick it back, and what a strike that is. I mean, it's difficult for anybody to deal with that. The amount of bodies that Scotland have got behind the ball, it's one that you can't really do much about. You need to stop it at source before it even gets to that point. A
nightmare start, Cheryl. It might be an odd thing to say, but would Scotland have almost prepared for a start like that? They know how dangerous Germany are, the quality they have. Would Michael McArdle have said, if you concede an early goal, don't panic?
Yeah, certainly I think he would have said that, but you're maybe not expecting it to be that early on in the game. But I think credit to Scotland, you know, the reaction from the team after that, to be really composed on the ball and not try and just constantly go through it into through ball areas or whatever it may be. They've retained it, they've recycled it until that right moment is to pass through into the midfield and forwards. But certainly the second goal for me was the sickener for Scotland, because they had done so well after that first goal.
Yeah, talking about that second goal, it was Sophie Howard. So unfortunate from her point of view. It was probably going to be a goal for Germany anyway, and it was Linda Dahlmann breaking through midfield. I mean, great play from Germany, great counter-attacking, Cheryl.
Yeah, really good counter-attack from Germany. You can see the quality down this right-hand side, and it's a nightmare ball into the box. I think Rachel will tell you as well, when you're a defender and you're running towards your own goal, that ball it's really difficult to defend. And Sophie Howard's just trying to get anything on it to stop it going to the Germany player behind her, and it's just unlucky that it's went past Lee Gibson into the back of the net.
Bitterly disappointing, isn't that? I mean, defender's worst nightmare. It was probably going to be a goal, like I said. I mean, Lee Schuler's right there, but fortunate for her.
It is, yeah. And for me, the most difficult thing to defend is probably Linda Dahlmann. I think she's been excellent in the first half, just picking up that pocket of space in front of the Scotland backline. On numerous occasions, she's been able to get on the half turn and drive at the backline, and you've seen it there. She just picks the right pass at the right moment. They then whip it across, and as you say, unless your body position is back early enough to be facing forward, you're running the risk of the ball going in your own net.
We've mentioned a few times already about the positives from a Scotland point of view. Caroline Weir did have a sighter on goal. It was an effort. I mean, she maybe would have been disappointed it didn't go on target, but these are the positive signs and what Scotland need to do more of, Rachel.
Yeah, and that's the player on the pitch that you want to be in those positions and taking those opportunities on. Caroline Weir on her left foot all day long, you would put money on her at least hitting the target. I think Erin Cuthbert there does excellently. They force the ball into an area where Scotland have got bodies, put the pressure on, won the ball back, and yeah, it's unfortunate not to see it at least hit the target.
How does Scotland do more of that though, Cheryl? What is it, more players like Caroline Weir getting on the ball like that? Or
yeah, I think what impressed me at that opportunity there was that the three players, the three midfielders, they pressed together to create that opportunity, and I think they need to do that more. They need to press together as a pack, be more compact, and then go and press in those areas. And certainly Germany, although they're a quality side, they do look vulnerable sometimes at the back, so I think that's where they'll get their joy, if they're pressing together and winning the balls in those areas.
It nearly got worse though from a Scotland point of view. They nearly conceded the third goal just before half time. Julie Brandt, we've seen her a number of times throughout this right hand side. Great save though from Lee Gibson, Rachel.
Yeah, it is, yeah, and you can see it. I mean, I personally wouldn't take that on the first time. I would probably try to take a touch, but she's confident enough in herself that she's got that ability to just force it on target, and I think Lee does excellently to stand up. But again, it's Dahlmann on the half turn, just driving at the defence, and I think that's maybe where Scotland will look to tweak it in the second half. They might try and put a little bit more pressure on her, just to not allow that freedom to just pick her moments.
Thank you both very much. Let's head to our half-time VT now. Dras as je dolle kleintjen voor eentje een klichteren hebben we taschig de galoppen we hun de gadse drie kemichen met jeder as getjera hij de galpo njers sevliene met jeder. Zou je draste Emma Lawton. Yn turas mi ieddig chai BBC Alpe a chéle it Emma Lawton, fasgit blian a dash, vai a clichebal kosher parst unie le partic thistle. I ddirt, dús an mías agus haíoch iad professionta agus thuaidí na ciad cech baiche le alapa na praia sa bbliana.
It's been so crazy, like that feels like so long ago, that last interview I did. I've done so much in that time. I'm the type of person that's always striving for perfection, so nothing ever satisfies me, so I'm always looking for that next challenge, that next thing to improve on, so I think that's helped me with this kind of transition into full-time football and coming up here. It has been difficult, but I've just tried to take everything in my stride. I think it's happened so quickly, it's kind of made it good. I've not had a chance to overthink anything, but yeah, it has been hard, but I've loved the challenge.
How much did that mean to you to be brought into a senior camp for the first time?
Yeah, I think it's always really a proud moment to represent your country. Even at 23s, I was always really grateful to be there. But yeah, to make that first team squad was a proud moment for myself and for my family. And I think I'm extremely grateful for Mick for calling me up. We've got some great players within this squad, Caroline, Erin, like they're players that are playing at the highest level. So to be in training with them and playing with them, it's a real great opportunity. And just to learn from them, it's been really enjoyable.
Sa hyd ewlus eich gilis yn artscipe, chlich lot yn y hwyl y minute de galapus na gemichin yn na hoster agus na chir yn isle. Agus bu cain eich y chyd game ac Hamden, if ein eich hyd tyl eich gan dwych.
Obviously, to be starting was a really proud moment for me, but then to score, and particularly like you say at Hamden, it was surreal. I think I've still not probably processed it, to be honest with you, but I think having my family there watching really made it even more special, so it's something that I'll remember for a long time, When I got called in, I was extremely grateful just to be here, and I was hoping that I would maybe get my debut, maybe a little 10 minutes off the bench or whatever, so then to have started both games was surprising, but extremely grateful for Mick for giving me that opportunity. I think it was difficult not to get anything from either games, but I think the level we're playing at now, every game's challenging, so I think it's that adaptability that we showed was really positive, and I think particularly from the first game to the second game there was massive improvements. There was lots of good elements and there was a lot of elements that we improved on over the course of the camp, so I think it was about taking those positives into this camp and trying to improve on them even more, and we know that we can compete at that level, we've shown that, so hopefully we'll be able to get a result out of the games.
I ddash coalition skipper, chan je laten son a haast gyfil a haatje savaltje ac ida it yn narsynta. Ach hai Danian agus dachasach gybi blinigyn honaichge an y lein o gorym na halapa.
I don't think you can ever guarantee your place in a team, you always just need to keep fighting, so I'm grateful to be here. I'll always give my 100% in training, and hopefully I can contribute where I can to the team. When I was a young girl, I probably didn't think that playing for Scotland was really an option for me, so I always wanted to do it. I think to represent your country at whatever you do is always a really proud moment, so to now be here and be involved in the setup, it's just proud to be here, grateful, and hopefully I can give back to the team and just enjoy every minute of it. I would love to compete at a major tournament with Scotland. I think that's everybody's aim that's here, so to be part of a team that does that would be extremely proud and grateful to do. So I think that's the aim going into the World Cup qualifiers, is can we make it to that tournament.
Mae fi Kleinjan fo Emma Lawton agus apur bliana heddi fi eich clicio the Champions League agus initially clicio ag either international quality skipper and ban ag Alpa. Cheryl, you were smiling the whole way through that VT there. I mean, someone you know very, very well, an old teammate of yours at Partick Thistle, and she's just, what an amazing year Emma Lawton has had.
A fantastic year for Emma, and it couldn't happen to a better person. So dedicated, every single day she's been in every day at training, working so hard. She's first on the training pitch, last on the training pitch when she was at Partick Thistle, and it's great to see how far she's come.
And she's still very humble, as we see as well. No, brilliant. Agus well, cwtioch, ha brysio gawn leis y lig drastus yn SWPL ach, a gemich yn gyma môr eith father, sio geif maha. Cúsin a Chesapeake sa rééis san a Chichtel san SWPL agus well Cúsin skipian sin asas sa rééis she Hibernian agus skipper like Rachel Hain. Rachel, things are heating up in the SWPL title race. Let's get your Hibs hat on here. You must be looking forward to the run and very excited as well. Hibs are very much top of the league.
Yeah, it's so exciting, not just for Hibs but for the whole league and for women's football in this country to have that amount of teams competing at the top end. And to be honest, I wouldn't even rule Celtic and Hearts out of it at the moment either, because everybody's got to play each other so many times, and yeah, with a few wins put a run together and they could be straight back up there. So yeah, it's so exciting and it's brilliant to be a part of. We're in the changing rooms every week thinking, right, who have we got now, and we focus on them, and as cliche as it is, we are just taking it one game at a time, and it seems to be working so far, so long may it continue.
Yeah, and well, next on the horizon for your side, Hibs, is the derby against Hearts. We have a big derby day on BBC Alpha with Hibs and Hearts first, and then of course it's Rangers against Celtic. And it's great, isn't it, just for the women's game to have these huge games. I mean, there's at least 2 a week all the time.
Yeah, it is, and I think for the derbies, it's about who turns up on the day. It's never on form, so although people might look at it and think Hibs have won all these games in a row or been undefeated, Hearts can turn up on the day and steamroll us as we saw earlier in the season, so we need to be on our game and be aware of that. But for the derby day, you've obviously got the Old Firm as well, and it's so exciting. But even at the bottom end of the league, it's so fascinating to see the teams that are jumping over each other. And yeah, I think Aberdeen's win at the weekend really propels them up the league a little bit and gives them a little bit of safety as well. So yeah, both ends, it's so exciting.
I can't believe you're bringing up that Aberdeen result right next to
I can't believe you've done that, Rachel.
That's my whole team, that's where I'm from, so I always keep a little eye on them.
But you have to say, Cheryl, it is I mean, we were last week Glasgow City against Celtic,
yeah,
and it was a great match, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's great for the league, as Rachel's saying. Certainly a lot of really entertaining games, and most games you don't know who's going to win, and I think that's the most exciting thing about it.
Well, that's the SWPL, but we have Scotland on the horizon in the second half, and I think the players are out behind us. So you two better go back up to commentary now. Thank you both very much. Agus a dras hitching initiative, who are neach adish. It's on a game shot. Ella McClelch.
Mór an taing gyfeigol agus bymydolchus nach bi Cheryl Rachel Dol nwcyn yn y chéile yn clir as fan ysbyrys agus gyfiad slan safal so y sioc yn eisiau dy brofwr cyw y ganyn yn y cystion y cymigol sy'n General Jesel ar y chwg fo celig y da skipper sy'n y ffeiking y tînydd ga skipper yn y germolch ha Clara Bull of Chinie, agus ha Suka of Chinie na Hatchisha, agus ha Shin Kujok, a fake Kirsty Hansen of Chinie, with Yelly na Halapa, get that to a chin, face ball of Hans Paul Hanek, Erin Cuthbert, well, can I fackle in the Honka Funtic, so as a bargain, on a na Horsehug. Cuthbert Gary gyda lafr y feil y fysiad hai nos yn ffain corum yn casau gyhyn y chwrydd Lawton cedydd horsio horwg i Caroline Weir Weir corum sy'n y ian o leis gydags feim sy'n y gol yr as yn y lein y chwyd Sophie Hurd, Dollar-Ash, who Lee Gibson, Norton Hurd, Gang and Ash, for Suez, who Erin Cuthbert, Dolcius, she's faking Kirsty Hansen, a shot, Hanny Gihen, for Napengi, Ailey Adams, there to go yet. I guess when Chella Gillett, what a horse meet. She's faking Cora Zikai, Freiburg. Tînydd. Cwgwn o gydol yn awr, Rachel Niclachlin eisiau dychanil ei hun, Toledge. Fi mi fi ffeichl o'ch cwsr a yr eidre, Tess Olofsson. Faking yr eist y sio. Chwri cas y siach o ddgroi, chwr i'n bawlach. Rhys mar a chwnig sy'n hyd le. Chai Chéli gals mar sy'n. Olas sy'n chyn chwnig hwgwnig. Gyda sy'n milo gal. Caroline Weir nor sy'n le casydd tiwd ag snasal efo sy'n. Bo chwyd sy'n sicau. Caroline Weir ein nog pick and courage on it. Hansen dollars jack. Gwri hyn so gwylwch ydy fawr haast. Gwri cwtwm gilior, bi alap y fang shit yr ash. Cheryl, you've made it up. Yourself and Rachel didn't fight on the way after those questions from Michael and those answers. But it's certainly a couple of changes. And you can see Scotland obviously looking for a bit more power up front.
Yeah, you know, they've made a change, bringing on Kirsty Hansen on fine form, scoring at the weekend with her team Aston Villa. So certainly she'll be full of confidence, and it's a good change, a bit of energy in the second half.
Hier Corum Gaviacha, Rudy Gniachain. Leis serve it. Caroline Weir. Leis Cass Clee Eichge. Nick Lachlan. Cwtioch dolas a stocha. A channa du. I becholige Weir visca chudisjach. Paschgede. Fosta Hul. De collega's in een aarst van de lijn Hul. Shit. Jeshals Jonach. Kiaun grokko gedach. Ganelat. Yusufine Corum Shinian was a ball. Fata Kus Rogerich. Norsen Suez. Gu Dalman. I guess the collega Trea. Gesnassal. Gu Brandt. Ka de Norsen. Junsi Sakai. Big and Kus at the ball. I guess when the serve Repe Kalpa. Faschke de Vokse. Han bouwer al mag Janelle. Is gaan het is jemete daar. Russian through for Caroline Weir. Absolutely not the kind of delivery we expected.
No, certainly not the delivery you would expect from Caroline Weir, but it just shows you again how potent Germany can be in the counter-attack. They've done it in the first half and certainly really dangerous again with Brandt getting on the ball. She was really dangerous in the first half and she started that off in the second half off with that run there.
I guess man hoors me big aan kussen de bal waar hoe Corum hoe Cor gaan het doen. Ik denk aan hem wie 3 kanjonen het horsach schacht hier ook nega hakke. Miskin Alanaska Minge voor Gutjum Kirsty Hansen. Snorsen Lia Eddy. Daar Corum Eichge Brandt Tinge Machleis de Jan Hou. Thomas, Corum zit goed. Shegus, Kirsten Norsen, Kirsty Hansen is Jack of the Groy. Corum Rachel Nicklachlan Shinakal, I guess. Jack Bekan Kumu, ein skippen een halve. Zat ik het, maar het is dat Kutje me goed is. Skippen een karamatch. Her een Cuthbert aan. Ein ska woelig, ska vrak ik zo eens varke. Bekan stries puchtig sluiten gedal. De Martha Thomas agus na cloiche der an Gians chanel alap atolache like corrug chugunig reach it. Snelle jo jare gemacht. Hier Corum de Rogers ach gaan Norsen Corum Chain Lane Corum na halapa Shiana Yeno Leish Rogers and Norton le Corum Hain tuned that gachadish Kutcha Machino over Niskin Jeno Mach Kalacher Kahuma Dalman Jach Kasochgut like Ash Hain Marahurst Rachel Miskinyain Begunners die hier Weg Nikaramatch Sikiet late is Kunners in Kilyorka Vian zijn Darnley gaan het doen. Erin Cuthbert de General Kama. Focus ik Juntai. Er val af voor Jenna Clark. Hij is big en Kutje Machine Orische. Hansen. Ja, niet Juntai zijn bal op 3 Nicklachlan nach Kate de jarige maag. Room en Noorsen in de val. Ik win. She is going er eerst gekeken. Hierheen. Dan schakken door de boxen. Ballen te Sikai. Nila fijn schakken dit hiertje. Ballerashku en Katrinberger. Chikli een jaar in het heel dreer ESPN. En door die zit dus zuigen zit get naar kus. Vier is ik in je nog. Heel haast geju ach bij alle dagen zeg is met elkaar op kanarie shit. Er hier ik naar heetje Canada zag ballen via zo ze van de shit. Is gemig. Sophie Hurd. Ik ga nog eens jaag in een groei. Kijk eens. Rain Lee Gibson maar shit toch allemaal eens jaag. We just see Scotland at the start of this second half not really able to release that pressure at all.
No, they've not really gained any momentum in this second half. You know, when they've been getting the ball, they've been losing it really quickly, not retaining the ball, and generally look really comfortable. They've been passing the ball about really well. So Scotland will need to get up more as a team, I think, and press in numbers and try and get the ball back in those areas like they're doing just now.
Reinhardt, Highland, bal Rogers, via van de kaderlijn weer gelijk is jaag. Richard en Klachlin, hij is Kirsty Hansen, Gianno Ma, bal Noorsen. Wel, coole kosje, Klach, Hansen, hij is Hanjen shit. Wat de Reinhardt daar is de Sabi. Faking Chikli, Nikeremotch en Katrinberger, Shias. Kiri Teichvedikach. Che hedden we een misk giljaar. Hij is Isje Groi Rollisk gelijk een mager de varke. Hij in Noorsen het er een pushjag is hoe die kuire. Kuchkin Chikli een jaar in Tilva Kuchok. Ail shot hij quickly in Chelsea. Hij is de kliekjes een staatje neertje. Dus vier Joe Horm. Meneer shit dat is niet en Shaw ek Tannadice. Die dag wie 15 Kuchkin kliekje er in een jaar. En een game in ban. Nu Collis Corstal, Sabia en Katrinberger. Ach, als je een 15 oorstak zoals kun je een en documentikach. Dus maar een connection aardig goed billig haast. Dan gaan we weer eens aan. Chimmer zit er gauw. Clark. Graku zoals Joel gelijk Cuthbert al vastge door de boxen. Nearly. Ein Korm. Shia nog de dooi. Ik is ze sport de Noorsen. Ik ga hem al zien rash uit dille. Al het bek aan kussen. Shit voor Dalman. Als je een schalting er eerst in kunst. Weird. Sjach, het leende kan hem altjach in de kuchtigste pleutig en ash van brand. Sophie Hurd de Noorsen dol sjach het de val. Als je een 15 Dalman dol ku ordevoxe. Noorsen ku Sikai en zijn bal eikesje sjach. Vader vast. Een unie weikje, een korm eikje. En is Gabi een korm was shit. Christel gaan in hem altj. Jeen shit kujuik Tannadice. In een waandooi. Gabi skippen de halve. In een dooi. Levi Cal en Christel. Bullig wat tra. Dat is een Darnley.
Yeah, that's really disappointing from Scotland there. They're in possession. Caroline Weir loses the ball. Not like her to lose it in that position. Sophie Howard's kind of out of position there, a mistake from her. And you can't make mistakes against teams of this quality. Not sure if she's offside or not, but it's a great finish from the striker. and there's no chance Lee Gibson's getting that.
Gajera, Stjach, Faravost. Viking, Giro Chopria, Sava, Shit. Yeah, between Clark and Gibson, the gap's so small, and she still found exactly just the inside of the post.
Yeah, really composed and relaxed there in front of goal. And as you say, Gibson and Clark are limiting the shot that she has, and she still gets it on target. And it's a great finish from the striker.
Howard, miss Kenyan Ryan Merak. Shit, listen and Trace Till. Horchin, Ria, Che, Rukug, Sahokug, Singer match. By Christian Vick. Tolletje Kiu, Viet Hoshach, Chanela Levi, Bullock Tolletje, Le Maraha, Correrut, Elvi Dol Gaib, then you skirse. Drasta Kiu, Landul, Kabina Ping, and Akadal Rash. I guess Darna Gemini, Alape, Rihin, Eichevarst. Arst for Cuthbert, who are the Rashi. I guess Coram Norton, Rachel Nicklachlin. Riest, Jan Baljo, Husseya, Marat, skipping a Halapik, Yeris, Hanadu, Ketor. Creëert een keramaltje, wekke day. Viking, maar had de kumal smaker erbij. Caro Cree, Hoffman. Shit, dat is began hele dollar heilig jouw hele. Dus de Viking, Schiller, ding daar, dat is. Ape. Tel en Magnoni en wat shit, dan een keramaltje. Frische bal zoals. Is Jack de Gassen Leah Schiller. I guess. Had er een merk ze bij. Daar hits een nooit heel lekker. Dan is skippen naast het Germat. I guess. Echation. Wel. Meer nog voorste. In het jouw hou.
Lightning quick there from Schiller, you know, running through. Kind of a break of the ball more than anything. I don't know if Howard's shouting at Gibson to come out. But certainly there, it's just really unfortunate, especially how quick the striker is. And again, it's a really composed finish from Schiller.
And it's the kind of one that, in a game where things are going for you, that disappears off out the side of the park and nobody thinks any more of it. But the kind of night Scotland are having, it's going against them.
Yeah, it seems to be that way, you know, when you want that wee rub of the green or a bit of luck, it seems to, certainly it's going against Scotland tonight. So they'll certainly be disappointed with the last two goals, conceding quite quickly together. So they'll be wanting to regroup and get back into the game, regain a bit of possession and composure. And certainly Michael McArdle will be looking for a reaction from this squad just now.
Joel Ewan til Tjenestjach, Schöne Viking, maar dan hoort me Schiller ervan. Lezen tel, ze nu het meerig Reini, ga je van een parken. Is naar haar hier in de chain. Dan hoort me heen Hanneke, dan is Hoffman, Hochtje ook Hanneke naar haartje. Apel, Slijk de hoek Caroline weer de wallen shit. Kus. Impie naar oorlog ze bij. Dan Catherine Berger gedaan. Kutje ook een Viking gedaan ik. Sinds je heen hoe die hier tillen was het. Dat is Loman. Ching Sydney Loman. Che gleich de Bayern Munich. Heeft een haartje. Keramalchi nish gachlige Michael Gesnasal no policy be go kusuola hora Ganyan shin vi stofa kusro Groei it's on Julia Quinn from Viking Kuchok Warren Davidson General Jeshal Valeria Kutchuk by Kirsty Nicolén. De hors beginnen, stoppen kan mi orsten nach de hors hierheen. Hier zien J. Seringigiano. Kormenist, ik heen Chine. Amy Rogers, Chin, yes, and Lauren Davidson. I guess Martha Thomas, Chinye, Kirsty Nicolén, Chinye. Couple of changes from Mick McCardle, and obviously looking to get a bit more up the top end of the pitch.
Yeah, I think he's looking for a bit more energy. You could see Scotland have maybe looked a bit leggy there in the second half, especially losing those 2 goals. He'll be looking for a bit of energy and a reaction, and certainly bringing on 2 players with a lot of talent. He'll be looking for them to go and make a mark on the game.
Davidson Grokuk Suas with Kirsty Hansen. Davidson en Norsen in de dubbel mee. Hierheen haken ein en bal with. Gelijk at the start. And we see just straight away that energy.
Yeah, you know, straight away the both of them, they're linking up, almost linking up, looking to get beyond the player that's on the ball. So that's a first good impression for the first minute on the pitch.
Ball at the mee. Emma Lawton heen ta ked de jaar we heel uit naar Halappe. Viking Caroline Weir Gain. I guess Norton illegal by Julia Gwynn. First Rutbeck Unie. Norton Becky Nicolén in de Valtje Rein hier gelijk de Galappe. Ti'n goed te halen raadvloer in je show. Gelijk je hier jij meeke. Nee, 1 en 2 en dan daar weer de switch te 3 ik pakken dens. I guess. Fijn Caramella en de Dunjay. Alle pech komen goors just te pikken te hoe zien dag. Alle petalletje hang rash. Tja, aster. In de goal maken ze groei. Is je Kerry Tull of shit. Ganyan Shin, a slow shot ik. Tana Dice has a come on take, skipping a Halappe. Kirsty Hansen if you're going to begin Kutchum goed. En is hem wat drummer negeren match. Er al saas en we kom altijd real op ja Q kom altijd Christian. Jan en Glory zijn even gedraaste. Spars giljar al I guess far in the park is ook Tana Dice nog. Dalman just passer erbij. Unje, Giljar, Eike. Dalman en Waraka. Van Moran Sturig in de bal of shit. Davidson. Van de kennen nog Chicky Kerry. Biach dan Rachel, Biach Kusro Ars de Noorsen. Son Nick Lachlin. Van mi brinje de Sloeg nog. Shia Miele. Koik Kiet. Kev Fichit se hun, den je Chiak, Ev Chin. Ik ging al op, I guess, had maar een hoors mee, Irvi en een Choku. Ganin. Een keer til, Irvi. Dallen hij skippen met McCardle, zoals Geruk is ja. Kunnerst haas i Chins, 5 minutes and 4 minutes and 4 gamalishgal. Rigal, Jenna Clark, Jenna Match at the studio. When I'm going to shachat, shouldn't it all mach sun preparation. Just seen Germany looking really comfortable in possession this last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I think they've certainly upped their game. Second half, you can see they've come out with a real intent and purpose. They're attacking really well, Germany, and linking up really well. You can see the subs that they've brought on as well have made a bit of a difference. So certainly it's been really tough for Scotland to try and get on the ball and to especially get up the park in numbers. I think they've really limited Scotland from doing that.
Lee Gibson, Thorsten Nunez heen. Fine Jishal. Fine Sport, Tirocha Geri. This Castlewood Tronaval. Tres, Keru, Koikever, Gissenballig with Chias. Meirig had Sanachi Karst. Dus also as a UNC Kirsty Hansen Gahal Gata. Because Sport should shachat Ali Gibson for all of the rest. Lawton, the Deval, Gianna Kilyorgus, Kugunug, Lisa Rachel at Hein, Brantavan, Nahai, I guess, with Suahug Meirig Deval, Wappa Hast, doing us a Leach Gahin. Sophie Hurd, Roku Fad. Vlakke, en de Shinafakal, en then Darna Codham, Grana Gallopet, Roy. Yeah, Eddie and Norshin, good cast Tronaval, and this Ganyan, Narain, Kirsty Hansen, and I, Lauren Davidson, Ike. I come in any guitar, I guess. So who Pavlov, Fakal, Alapa, Cheval the Riest, Kirsty McLean, Horst the Cuthbert and Norson, so is the Nichlachlin. Spot to have fuse Orlach Nagated, Cass Alapa nog aan Gizaval, Cass Skermal Joch, Chingish Jack of the Groy, Sikai, Geno Skunyal, shit down to Chimical, I guess. Playing a Magnus. Tuur na keren about me gimme geworden. Zijn Noorse vaak al eens balen bria zoals hij junt zijn Cora Sakai. Hier nog kus heeft gedaan. Gibson, Ching Mach, out of boxen. You mentioned the German substitutes, just how much more they've brought to what was already a fantastic team that started the match.
Yeah, certainly they've brought a bit more intent and energy into the game, especially number 14 there when she's got on the ball. She's done so well to put pressure on Scotland, and certainly even just down this left corner there, keeping the ball, getting it out to the other side. So certainly she's added another dynamic to the German team.
Forstal hele we aan gaan doen. We kijken de Unie. Shia van de Noorsin. Ik ken hem al zie. In de heel 4 gekaalpe beeld. De worden che in de shop. Davidson, Paul en Salen. Staat. Gaming de Noorsin. Like het er kan diving in de bal. Paul kan gelijk het as. Noorsin. Vaak get er eentje hè. Boyle, Dalman. Chingish Jackas. Kunners Woelgoed, heel ik ken hem al.
Lauren Davidson's done really well there. That's what she's been brought on the pitch to do, to get on the ball and drive at the German defence. And she's done really well to get past the player. Unfortunately, the ball's come out to the edge of the box, and I don't know if the referees kind of just got on the way. A few of the Scotland players there to get a shot off. But yeah, positive signs from Lauren Davidson.
Hier staat al eens Jack in de goal. Daarna kan hem kalpen. Cuthbert, Tuntijk. Nog keer is de Nichlachlin. Al Jean Rossi heeft van Blaaf. Hij mag. Zo'n staat al eens Jack. Rachel McLaughlin, Kethith Jane Ronin a Heiche, Osho Hore, Chanel Mora in a Drast, Chanadu. Yes, Halkas, Larcher to Chingischach for Janina Minge. Korasakai, wekkende Vrakain. Bal, also is Junsi Hansen. Reini Moran Leish. Smashin. Female up a Fiaching. Van Oshan. It is it. Began Tokal it cheating at a look taik. Fuse a Keithnioni, if Yerig's Schachman and Chinjiak Rigol.
Scotland will be looking to make the most from this set piece with Caroline Weir delivery as well. You've got Jenna Clark, Sophie Howard in there, real aerial threat in the box.
Love, so is Maha. Headed. In the Tara Kitchen more at Hoshoch or at Ball kind of forced the cool. Snotion Skune, Kirsty Hansen, Jeff Bickan, Kusro Ars, Canel and Cuthbert College, the Rutigan of Adolsa Voxe, Manavris ground like Clayhitter and Ella, Hashit, a Ket, Chingaratela, Kurulach, Aid, Kirsty Nicolane, Brian Nicolane, Matt, Corum, if I should done get him Alchavu, Hansen, the Northern Tuntag. Nearly playing about for Smack at that. Snortion the Hain, Calla Casson, agus illegal. Play it at Keremalchach as a Jeddah Haum. McLaughlin, Gahorst, Nicolane. Snortion to us, the Caroline Weir. Weir, the Kate that's on Tuesday, Kate that's on Room. Agus Coela, Emma Lawton, Colsuas. With her play to Gallapa. Room at Hosha Hoda, Akana Moore and Rowan United. Lauren Davidson, Gaines, Gasturi Girashki. Davidson, Dolly Hosha Hoda, Cuthbert, Irukulu, Cuthbert to Tuesday. Corum Stochad, Chile Girashis Jack, agus Gachlich, the Nicolane, Lish, Inish. Heen, Grokug, Suesku, Rachel McLaughlin, Corum Shibala, Bria, Kudishak van de Boxe, Canelli Gallen, Corum Chin Katahi, Kudirash, Jenna Clark, the Moon, the Chickley, Exiganian, Modern Davidson, and Vivashk, Maturi, Corum Aid.
That's the best bit of play I've seen from Scotland in the second half. Again, composed to keep the ball, recycle and come out the other side. But I think they just need to get a better ball in the box, because it's the German keeper Berger, really experienced in there, can come out and get that no bother.
Jolle Skiljoreike, Marahami de Vikra. Skanel Moran, over de Vieke, Kusiano. Ganyan Shin. Heen, agus na chluichidar in Gianilla, Céad in Johnny a shit agus is son shit chumal Kahari ma croich in Chown na Kabulach idir a Heen agus skip an Norlange Céad Nilch Scarag Hurl Céad o Woloch McLaughlin Spanny the Hiedach the Darna Corum, Chai Rachel is Sass, agus Anahu, Illa, Chin, Hillig Nicanamach, Alara, Chinid, agus Kate, Chin, Parna Parket, Famer View, sort of bars, Lina Solish, good job of faking, Kirsty, Nika going, Chinid, Anacha, Rachel McLaughlin, agus Whiskey Hain. Ski, Jay, Fiskett, Atta, Swiss, Shias, Puvshin. Berger, Art, Swiss, Fatke. Gus should the play. It's going to be Sasa Signoi. Hoffman. Sturing yma ach y cyfhawl. Gwyn, diolch a chawl. We won't get the stats till after the game, but the work rate that Rachel McLaughlin's had up and down that wing all afternoon,
yeah.
And it's been a difficult afternoon for her.
Yeah, certainly, you know, she's put in some of it running up and down that right-hand side, the same way Emma Lawton on the other side. The way that Scotland have set up to play, they're asking a lot from those two wide areas, and certainly she's put a lot of work rate into that, and you can see that's why around this mark in the game they've changed it up, just a bit of fresh legs, and Kirsty Smith has been in and out the squad for years, really experienced player playing at the top level, so it's a like for like change.
Good job. Jól of Gillard, like a West Ham na Lions, Fifi hits a hun, Kepe Gisha finished. Kirsty Hansen in the Gals connection. Droch serve for Caroline Weir, Jera spot of a shot. Corum Ila Shelting Nasiring Giano, I guess na Clayhidden Arse, there also us. Giano Jeshal, Caroline Weir, Haraka Chinkillor, Clarks, Howards, Lauren Davidson, Bunsey, Mia Nadal, Durashin Ball, Torn up Yarn and Duras Miri, Kirsty Smith a hand, with the ball, Cuthbert, and Norsen got a strap for the box, a ball, and Jenna Clark like a post the food, T-Rock shot at the post. I think she had tries in the garstje. They could one year up saying and find a counter the ball.
That was a lot better from Scotland there. You can see great ball into the box and Jenna Clark just getting enough on it, but just going past the post. But it's a good opportunity and good chance for Scotland.
And Kirsty Hansen, we saw her there at the back post. She's then putting pressure on the goalkeeper. After that, she's been just pure work rate since she's come on.
Yeah, just full of energy. Certainly you can see she's high in confidence from her form at club level, and certainly she's helped Scotland in this second half.
And how much now? Obviously just over 10 minutes to go. Are they looking at Tuesday night and trying to get something to get a bit of confidence ahead of that match?
Yeah, you can see by the subs that they've brought on, they're trying to bring on positive players to try and still go and try and get a goal in this game and get back into the game as much as possible, but certainly they will be looking towards Tuesday also.
Joe Clayke for Kirsten Nicolen, Vic Davidson in the Vita Kulu, Elena Gian, Schneefiking, Sue Hugavashid for Caroline Weir, King Hoodie and Ball for Sophie Howard. And there's some van a gunna gnoy hier rein shit. Caroline Weir, Joe Jans buiten ground a gunna gnoy rein shin. Dit da Cas ach de hal. Cas in kermeltje. Ik ging stjachen of ook ze. Ball snokken van de Gwyn, I guess. Een balltje voor de laatje. Shears gehiesham. Lee Gibson ga chummal amach. Va fash in Cork of Till and again a match in there for Julia Gwyn.
Again, really good play from Germany down that right hand side. Been a threat all game, but Lee Gibson with another superb save when called upon. Just looking at it here, yeah, she does really well to get a touch to take it round the post.
Fighting. Ball at Arstesjach, Jenna Clark, Suis, Gus Inge Fallon, Gus Kirsty Hansen, Gus Oerge Fallon, Shin Klein, Sloge, Tanner Dice, Gary Rutkin, Ingas, Kirsty Hansen in the ball from Allisjach, I heen the Norshin, just with a stat, good grab, the Klein Herne, I guess hit and Darna got him. Shit, in a very big fall of go watch it. Hansen, she has said a lot. Be ski a chwyddi che gorst y mis gyhwyl si an cwtioch.
again, the energy from Kirsty Hansen, you can see, done really well to get up down the line. What I was impressed is there's still 3 players running up with Scotland with her in the box. Just unlucky that she wasn't able to get across into the box here, but I think she's been caught. I think from what we can see, unlucky not to get a foul for that.
Good job of faking Che Genimalchuk. She is a lot. Smashing B big and start on. Kirsty Hansen van Faraching Cass Haast. Cuthbert for Ola. Become the game rugby dollar shit. Get in Cuthbert. She lodged it. Behind ball. Norton Horse follow. Cuthbert just Carl Cassin. Shin the torsion Corum. It is the Niemalch. Hoffman. Gachliche. Mark Clora Sakai. Heen gets to us. Sophie Hurd could stop on it. I guess, well, Sophie Hurd for Ola. I guess Kugunig reached it. Grepe Machman of Hula hand. Gaussier. Zit belok Jarsdag. Heb je misschien het Jeno Kugunin. De laatste 15 Talman. Ganningse stogen Chipjaar. Is een game. Linda Talman. Vrijgang Chingy na Haatjesje. She could joke of Caroline Weir and Chinye. I guess Emma Watson Chingy na Haatjesje could joke. Spot in een Cuthbert voor oorlog. Zie vangen bal. Jeno Gama. Gama is knap was het. Dat is wat Jack Gudich. Bij Emma Watson. Zie je goed. Ik zie vaart naar Pinge. Kijk het dus in Kuide. Achenel Corum. Shiniano. En een game ik niet. Saarstje maar een high shot. Smith. Kijk wel genoeg was de goal. Oh, Shin Kovac Sahane Galpen. Het tells the game se. Kan je me namen is ietsje gedaan nog een groei. Dan ga je zitten in het harketje. Ga je Alpen Shin. Michelijn. Ik ga de boksen door ze niet heen. Dus bal Girok Shaka de post. Ach, daar leegorm kan je. Te verstaan minnaars de Galpen.
I don't know if that's a cross or a shot, but certainly it's a good opportunity and good say shot on target, and Berger has to be at full stretch to get that at the top corner there. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell exactly if it was going in, if it was a cross, if it was a pass, whatever it was, it goes down as a decent save in the end.
Yeah, certainly as a good save, and again, real positive play from a substitute that's come on. And as we say, there is a match on Tuesday, so these players are coming on and wanting to put in a performance to hopefully get in the starting lineup for Tuesday.
And we see even Kirsty McLean, when she came in and had that second chance, she's one who a lot of people have said to me before the game was really unlucky not to start this one.
Yeah, she potentially is unlucky to start. You know, real young player with a lot of quality, been playing really well for Rangers this year, and certainly she's one for the future, but probably just now also, and she'll be looking, as you see when she's come on to the match tonight, to put in a performance to get into the starting 11 for Tuesday also.
Vrijgang, big inclusive. Ja, Hugh Itter Davidson agus Kleinherne. Maduri smach géad is Lauren Davidson. Faking Lia Eddy. Chloiche Norsen amach go Emma Lawton. Sin a chin fa da chas agus Norsen Lawton gaing arach. Ford nicht gelein. Bala Norsen is Jack. Chunna fos the cool agus wa Gish and Elaine na Halpa Hansen agus Smith. Da chursty agus mo chud bulach cead. Is it the view of a Hanagan Catherine Berger amach gus stad chud in Corum.
Yeah, that was a good ball into the box from Emma Lawton there. Been a bit quieter in the second half, but certainly when she's got on the ball, she's done well with it, and it's a good cross into the box. Just unlucky it's not found a Scotland player.
Lena, chud rash an Norsen de Sydney Lohman. I heen het al rash chunne Jake Eichke. Chloiche Suez tro Julia Gwyn. Emma Lawton is it. Cascus. Staat er goed in Glenorst. Gang van gan Chris Cormac op Dalarash heen. Kuntis Shias Nijickens de Minachin show skipping to get a match. Lani Sake on the Pinganaka. The son and Yoni shit the Kamal Qatar. Emma Watson, Chingish Jack on the box. Fashka than Tarakidja. Navaris get on it. Lauren Davidson of Gamas, Shach in the cheek Lee, Berger, Hakal, Pick and Chicken Nilla, Heu, Machas game, Heu and Balmach, I guess. When Chingish Jack Skachod at Ashkan the cheek Lee, I get East. From Trumushet, Rivital. Pat na haige. Niels Marjane, Michaelse, Kargorst. Wie Gorstek, look coach in the halbe, sat the Viaching. The opera macht Janie at the Horshoch of the Darna game with the Niskipian. Shanaike Varst. The Null as a match. Watson's Hansen. Oi Bechelis at the Viachanish. Valline go Sydney Lohman, nach Norsen Hansen, Gein, Horst, Lauren Davidson, Heen, got it out, we're getting Cuthbert, Davidson going it out to the Fanabax and passing the Norsen. Machrach, Kimmer nach Japsha this Jack. Hulletini that Gaelic Tanadice, Smania who've got us at this Jack. Van Cormac Cuthbert, Van Cormac Norris, Nick Davidson in the east. Kimmer from Green, nach Jack shit this Jack, and Yoni Hastek, Mikeda Multi. Big on Slater, get Chingish Jack, I guess. Machine, should have taken Tess Olofsson, first start there in Roy, he's in the east. Ball, Jack, Kirsty Hansen in the east, got Chris Jack, come in the park. Davidson to Hoike Rash to get in Cuthbert. Shit to the start. Davidson going in Rash here. Savoy, Sonia, Levon, I mean Navaris got a lot of Jacket to grow his stew and ball Suez. Couldn't have actually Tarshin, Kishin, some Girok Savoy, Scaniel Kishin a shot. I guess a ball like Davidson. Lavish Jacket to grow, I guess a Savoy and Yoni, her shit. And Catherine Berger, Kumal, Alapa Mach. Watson the Casa de Bailach. Seeing it to the east. Ha skip on the Gerdemal. Win our Shachat. Achashin it's so again for Cass Alapanoch. Berger by Shias Naparhayas. Cascor Strike. But the position Shiana Gregor in Norshin. Savaluk Scunulavan. Hula Kits, Vahula Korik. Lauren Davidson Alpe Q into lying at Ashes a game set. Doi at Chorikin with Ann-Katrin Berger. Lav Stjach. I guess really start with a ball. Davinach Stjach van de Kehiv Minachin Varach and Keru Opiki. If shouting a shot Tana Dice. Shia Mila Kale van Vasho Hanen Kayuka. Dina Kehiv Mila you in Akal has the Ganyan scored. Showing a Torsha who if he fall up. And then Cuthbert for all of the shit. He heen in the beat Kamatrang face get a Jew. Gonna be goal there. Cushion in the Matti Gallup nu de Lauren Davidson in the the Valka agus. Well, pick on slut they got it. So the micro Korak Chile Grash on server. Ball has the Gallup. Kirsten Nicolane, Sophie Howard, like it either it. I guess. If I think Gunnars the heck. Skip it, get him on shot. Is that the Chile's spot? Kirsten Nicolane going. Van der Waal. It's just wrong at it. Can it do? Jeez. Get him on shot. Chimmy Galore. Pat in the bar. I guess Sakai as a box it. Ball. Ikke Kassen. Tell like him at hat. Win Noorsen. Ball. Jack Shahat in Tarakic. Christian Stoge. Kimmer by Le Unie. En de slansbakker de bal like a foster hoel. Christian James met McCardles en skippen Kochi Frickerst. Roy hier wel Fiskert hier de Karsel de Kooi kan mis menu game shit het hoorse hoe nul als ik match. I guess. Oper voor Regiano via plannen ille geredai. De Viking. Diolch yn ymwneud, fe falle dy dal siacad ar y post at so falle nhw'n cloentyn ffeitiac jirig yn y gêm i ti'n cor o gylior y dol y Christian Vic y jirig y gêm gwydd cwras y cae hyd tyl as y darna le apur slaich gyfawn farafost agos ysdiach i action dres tyl ag na gyramatch mas dwydd Schiller yn cerw tyl sé Njoni a Havel and Catherine Berger farske den jirig si could start in the nerve of a shit Lauren Davidson. Njoni maar a horse min upper high good thing we could trumach as a league national ha shot I guess Nikeramachi I guess an online farske hele I guess that stoge het skarig huil ek jirig ignoi. Sne faking geta na skippy in the breed live hele bi at the donna hele yr eiste eich farstach. Y sio eich Tanadais, Alba yn Ioni, y ger y malch y Cehydd.
Tablet Gajera Elang agus wel gymi orsnach Alba idd y gêm sio noch y chawl. Ba ffys ac yn grau gyfi dydyf gaif idd hosig idd y gêm agus sy'n marhau idd y fi y cawl y Cehydd gynioni droniwch an y doi. A fa parsyn sy'n gêm sy'n ffarra Alba ma agus wel stoch y bica jagoch agus yn idd hosig idd y gêm sy'n eich farch. Cheryl McCullough called them back on the park. Cheryl, we knew before the match it was going to be a very, very difficult challenge for Scotland. Germany third in the world, and I suppose Germany showed their quality.
Yeah, they certainly did. And as I say, you give a chance, Germany a chance to score. There's a good chance they will, you know. Certainly a lot of quality in that team, and as Scotland gave them those chances, they did score from them. So certainly it's a learning curve for Scotland tonight, and they'll need to go on to the next match on Tuesday and try and get a result from there.
Looking at a Scotland point of view, is there any, what can they take from this game? Because obviously you could dissect the parts that didn't go well, but like you said, on Tuesday there's a game coming up and you need to move on. Yeah,
certainly they need to move on. They need to look at the positives, and there is positives from the game. You know, I thought when the subs came on there was a good impact from them, good bit of energy. There was chances in the game. They controlled possession in the first half also. So certainly they'll need to look at the positives because the next game comes very quickly.
Let's look back at the goals in the first half anyway, and it was a very, very quick start, wasn't it, from a Germany point of view? The worst possible start from a Scotland point of view. Yeah,
worst possible start from Scotland. You know, you can't give Germany, a team of that quality, with players of that quality, the time at the edge of the box, and certainly it's a great goal, great finish from the player also. So certainly in that aspect, they'll be disappointed with the goal so early on. Certainly looking at the second goal also, Grant just so clinical down that right-hand side, and she puts a great ball into the box. And again, we were speaking about it at half-time, me and Rachel, you put a ball in the box in that area, it's really difficult to defend, and it's really unlucky from Sophie Howard. Yeah, Sophie Howard, bitterly disappointed from our point of view. Do you think, from a Germany point of view, excuse me, do you think they came out of second gear at all in this match? Because they were very, very clinical at times, and there's so much experience in the team, they almost knew how much they need to put in this game to win. Yeah, I think certainly second half, they upped the tempo a bit. You could see they were pinning Scotland back and they couldn't really get out as much. But certainly you could see they could probably go up a gear, two or three more gears more. But when they got the ball in those areas, they were very clinical, and it just shows the quality that they have. Let's look at the third goal from Germany. It came shortly after half-time. It was a substitute, Zika, and Laura Dahlmann once again really instrumentally are setting this up, and clinical. Zika coming on the second half, I think she really was a spark, a really energetic player in the second half. And when she gets the ball here, there's not much of an angle, but she finds that angle so composed, really calm, and that's what you want from your players in an attacking area, and she puts the ball in the back of the net with ease. Is it a disappointment from a Scotland point of view, though, Caroline Weir losing the ball probably cheaply in midfield there? Yeah, really uncharacteristic of Caroline Weir to lose the ball in that area, but it's the reaction you need after that, and certainly I think Sophie Howard was out of position. She's moved forward and the balls went past her. There's not much cover, and when you give Germany an opportunity like that, they're going to take it. And they took another one, and it went 4-0 Germany. Leah Schuler was the goal scorer this time. It was a bit of a mix-up in the middle of the park for Scotland. The ball broke to Leah Schuler, and on a plate for her really, and no mistake from the striker. No, it's really unfortunate. You know, there's the break of the ball, and tonight Scotland just never got the break of the ball. And again, lightning pace from Schuler. When you see her coming out, I wasn't too sure whether Lee Gibson was going to come or not. She's decided to stay, but again, a great finish, and it's ended in the back of the net again. From a Scotland point of view, looking ahead to this match on Tuesday, particularly those second half substitutes like you mentioned, do any of them need to start in the next match? Potentially, you know, this is the decision now Mick McArdle has, that he has to then decide who'll play on Tuesday. There'll be a lot of tired legs also, so whether he'll rotate through that, but certainly I feel there was players that came on the park tonight, Kirsten McLean, Lauren Davidson, Hansen, etc., that came on, and they've definitely gave themselves a chance for Tuesday. Let's have a look at the table as it stands at the moment. Unfortunately, Scotland's still pointless in this group. Netherlands beating Austria tonight 3-1 as well. Cheryl, it's a very, very difficult group. I mean, I know there's a debate whether, you know, you'd rather be in League B or League A. You want to play against the best teams, but it is really difficult to put a run of results together and, I suppose, build any confidence and momentum. Yeah, it's really difficult when you're in these groups, you know. You're certainly playing the best teams in the world. When you look at the likes of Germany, Netherlands, Austria, all really good teams, but that's what you want to be doing. You want to be playing against the best teams, the best players. That's how you're going to develop and get better. Certainly it's a catch-22 because you're doing that, you're maybe not picking up the momentum or the results, but certainly for Scotland, I would say that it would be beneficial in the long term for them. I want to ask you about the manager situation at Scotland, because Micah McArdle, he's got so many jobs at the SFA at the moment. He's of course got the elite women's sport. He's ahead of that, and he's interim manager at the moment. But do Scotland need to appoint someone full time? You would imagine sooner rather than later you would want Scotland to appoint someone, just so that there's a bit of permanent structure. Certainly I think Michael will want to know himself whether he's getting the job or not, or whether someone else is coming in. but certainly in terms of what he has done for Scotland, the SFA and the players, the young players, etc. He's been at the under-23s, and his ethos is to bring young players through, and I think he does really well at that in developing players.
Well, we'll run out of time, unfortunately, Sherba. Thank you for your contribution tonight. Agus for Sinead Voinga. Aicheva.